Hello everyone and welcome to the first race in the MiniMixed. This series will be 12 races as it looks now, and we will be doing 2 tracks that are included in the game. Then we will do one track that you have to buy, then we have one Saturday off, and then we go back to 2 Saturdays with included tracks, and then a bought one again. So you can read more about it on in the forums. It says number 1 AAA Racing MiniMixed Championship. So we are on Okayama, the long version today, and we are driving 5 cars, and we will have this car that Richard Brightwell is driving, which is the Jetta TDI, and we will be having this, using this car, which is the Ford Mustang, here driven by Jürgen Petersen, and we will have this car, which is the Skip Arbor, here driven by Fredrik Johansson, and we will have the Ford Spec Racer. Let's see if we can find someone in the 5th car. There it is, Adam Allen in Mazda MX-5. So these cars all are they're not matched when it comes to lap times. The MX-5 is much slower than the Skippy and the Mustang. So what we've done is that we're using high-speed lap times to make handicap system. So the faster the car, the longer stop and go they will have. There will be one stop and go in about the middle of the race. So the fastest car will be held for a minute and a half, and the slowest cars will, which is the Mazda in this case, will be held for 1 second only. And then also they will have to take on a little bit of fuel and 4 new tires. So we are going to go right into the starting grid. So of course we're gonna have the fastest cars further up on the grid. So here is Jürgen Petersen in a Mustang, and we have Fahim in Skip Arbor, Kenneth Jones in a Mustang, Alain Tessier in a Skip Arbor, and another Mustang, it's Klaus Petersen. Skip Arbor again, Fredrik Johansson, and there is Richard Brightwell in the Jetta TDI. And here's Skip Arbor, Calvin, and Rick here in Spec Racer, Dwayne Bensinger in Skippy, and here we have the first MX-5, that's Tony McCallum, another MX-5, Dwayne Stoddart. Here we have Mr. Di Brito in MX-5 also. Here's Derek Jones. And Yelena Medvedev has joined us again, also doing, last year did all of the super mixed races. Tori Tesla, nice paint job on his car, I would say, in a MX-5. Adam Allen in MX-5, Chuck Palfi in MX-5, and that's the pace car. And it's back to the pool car. So let's get the race rolling. So here's from the blimp view. We're gonna watch the start, and it you can see that the pool car didn't get off the line properly, and I learned later that the cable that connects from the H shifter to the wheel came undone just a few seconds before the start. So he was fiddling around with the cable, just got it in and floored it, so he missed the start a little bit. Looks like he's getting into T1 and especially T2 first anyway. So start went well, no real big problems there, no incidents, which is good. This race is open for all skill levels, new and old, and we have some very experienced drivers here, and some really fast drivers, and some unexperienced, which is fun to have a little bit of a mix-up. So here in first race, first lap, Jürgen Petersen was about a second faster in the qualifying, a little bit more than a second faster than Kenneth, also in Mustang. So we'll see if he can pull away a little bit. The time difference in qualifying between Kenneth and the guys in the Skippies wasn't that big. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if they perhaps will follow each other through the race. We'll see. So after that we will have keep an eye on Richard Brightwell. Of course, he's the only guy in a Jetta. We'll be interested to see what he can do. Then we have Rick James here, the only guy in Spec Racer. And Tony McCullum is the fastest driver in the MX5, so he also has a chance of winning this race. So let's switch over to another view. We are on lap 2 still, and we have Adam Allen here, and right in front of him is Chuck Balfi on position 17 and 18. Dwayne Bensinger in 15th position at the moment. Elena Medvedev has been with us for a couple of seasons in the Super Mixed, where we also drive faster cars. Here we only do the slower cars in the service. Elena did 2 seasons, I think, in the Super Mixed, so really happy to have her with us here also. Tesla having just returned to the game, being after being away for a while, built a new gaming computer. Here we have Derek Jones putting his nose on the inside. Quite aggressive driving, it looks like. Derek also got a little bit of damage because he pulls to the side. He probably damage here his front suspension. Dwayne started in MX5, has been away also for a while, just came back, and is pretty much up to his old speed again, doing lap times in the 149s, that's fast on this track. Tony McCullum, also fast driver, been improving a lot last year, I would say. Been on page 1 on the world record list a couple of times, doing the Mazda in the official series most of the times. Rick James in the Spec Racer. Calvin Filarski, haven't seen him in any of the races before, so it's good to have new faces around, of course. So we'll see, keep an eye on him. Richard Brightwell did the Jetta also in the test race we did, and also in the Super Mixed League we did last Sunday, I think it was, yes. Alain has not done any races with us before, I think. Joined the league here the other week. Just came in and did a few laps during the qualifying, so he's still getting warmed up. So we see what he can do. He has, of course, shot for the victory here. He has Fahim, who is also new to this league. He was very quick in the qualifying. So we are using a handicap system, and the faster the car, the longer the stop and go penalty. So the calculations are based on the lap times in high speed done by whoever. So it's up to the participants to put in good lap times in high speed, and it's a good idea to put in good lap times in a car you're not going to race yourself, because the faster the lap times, the longer the pit stop. So a little bit of tactics play in here also. So actually in high speed, the Skippy had a better lap time than the Mustang. Generally the Mustang is faster, so this we can see here we have Mustang 1 and 2, and the pit stop will be longer for the Skip Barber than it is for the Mustang. But it's all down to the participants to see to that the lap times are fair. So if you see someone doing bad lap times in high speed, you can just go in, open up a practice session and improve that lap time. So we will move ahead a little bit in the race here, and see how things start to develop when we get into the stop and go penalties. We are on lap 10, and the leader of the race is still Jürgen Peterson in the Mustang. He has a lead of about 15-16 seconds. Over here is Kenneth Jones in second position, followed by Alain in the Skippy, and Fahim also in the Skippy. Klaus Peterson in Mustang also in the 5th position. Richard Brightwell in the 6th position in the Jetta TDI. Calvin Filarski in 7th. Ricky James in 8th. Tony McCollum fastest now in the Mustang, in the MX-5, followed by Dwayne Stoddard. And here's Mr. Brito. I don't know how he pronounces his name. Amadeo, I would guess. There's Yelena in 12th position. Dwayne Bensinger in 13th. Tori in 14th. Derek Jones just parked, it looked like. There's Chuck in 16th. There's Jürgen again in the lead. So we are approaching the stop and go penalties, and we'll see what happens when they start to pit. So we are on lap 13, and Derek Jones still in the 2nd place, and still followed by the 2 Skip Orbit drivers. That's Fahim now up in 3rd, and Alain right behind him in 4th. They're having a good fight here. It's also interesting to see the Mustang, which is a little bit faster on the straights, and fighting it out with 2 Skippies are a little bit faster in the corners. The black flags have been issued, and after that the drivers have 4 laps, I think it is, to get into pits, otherwise they will be disqualified. It's 4 or 5 laps. I haven't really dared to find out if it's 4 or 5. Up in first position now, still Jürgen Peterson, and he's still not pitting in. See there that Adam Allen is pitting in with the MX-5, and right behind him there is Kenneth Jones now pitting in. So 2nd, 3rd and 4th position going into pits, and the leader is continuing. So the Mustang will stay in pits for a minute 35, I think it was. A little bit over a minute, and the Skippy about 15 seconds longer. So here the Mustang will have a lead of about 10-15 seconds when they exit pits again. So now I have cars already exiting pits. You see the Jetta here from Richard Brightwell just left pits. So now we will have a new leader, and we'll see who that might be. There's Tony McCollum pitting in. Here we see Tony McCollum leaving pits again. He only did 1 second penalty and fuel and tires. So we will know more in one lap exactly where his position is. We get back to that. Here we see Alain just leaving pits. So that means that yeah, the 2nd guy left, and there is Klaus also leaving any second now. And this means that Ricky James now is up in the lead. He has still not made his stop and go penalty, and he has to do it now soon. Adam Allen is in 12th. Jürgen Peterson here now says he's in 2nd, but he was dropped down because he's now standing still, being passed on the outside. Tony McCollum, he left pits last lap, and Dwayne Stoddard, who we had been racing against, just leave there. You see, yellow car leaves. So Tony gets out just in front, so they're back to the position they were just in. So Tony is now third, but I think he's actually second or first, because he passed start-finish line before, after the other guys, but he much faster. He made it ahead of them into T1. And here Jürgen Petersen leaves pits in his Mustang and is down to 5th position. Everyone have done their pit stops, and we have Rick James in the lead. No, sorry, Rick has still not done his stop and go, so he will probably do that in this lap. Keep an eye on that, of course. After him we have that's 12th position, Adam Allen. There's 13th. There is 3rd, but where is 2nd? Okay, Dwayne was just overtaken. So it's Tony McCollum is in 2nd position. Dwayne started in 3rd. Derek is in 17th. There, Yelena Medvedev is up in 4th. So now it's pretty much Mazda. And here's Jürgen Petersen chasing in 5th, followed by Kenneth Jones, Richard Brightwell, who was just overtaken, Alain, Tori Tesla. Let's move back up in the lead. Rick James going into pits, and I think that is the wrong pit entry. I think he should have turned right a little bit earlier there. So there he has a little spin, and I think that this gave him an extra 26 seconds. I think it is in penalty for unsafe pit entry. So Rick told me that he got more than 1 minute stop and go penalty, and that is added. I think that he had the extra penalty added for the pit entry, so he got a little bit over a minute. Otherwise he should be 42 seconds or something like that. So he's going to be staying there for a minute, which will put him quite a long way down. So that will be Tony McCollum up in the lead. Let's go and have a look at that. Here is Tony McCollum, and he is almost not quite, but almost half a lap after Rick. So that means that he will pass Rick without any problems, since he will be standing there for longer than he was supposed to. So we will have Tony, followed by Dwayne Stoddard, and 3rd car there is Derek Jones, who had a little fender bender before, so he's down to 17th. Dwayne is in 14th, so Jürgen Petersen 5th, well 4th it says here, will actually be 5th I think, depends on where Rick comes back out on track. So he's chasing down Dwayne Bensinger now, but he's a lap down, so Yelena was just overtaken by Jürgen. Okay, so Jürgen will be 4th I think then. And Yelena is being chased by Kenneth Jones, who's being chased by Richard Brightwell, and who's being chased by Alain and Fahim. And behind there's Klaus in 15th. Okay, let's go back up and see where Rick James exits. There, Rick leaves pits, and he's out in, let's see, 11th position. Quite far down, so let's hope that he can catch up with some of the MX-5s to get a little bit of better position. So let's go back up and have a look at the fight for the lead. We're on lap 17, and Jürgen Petersen is in 3rd position, chasing the guys in the MX-5. So Dwayne started in 2nd position, and Tony McCollum is currently in the going off track there, both of them. There is an incident limit for this race at 18, so if you go over 18 incidents off tracks, you will be disqualified. So just keep an eye on how many you do, you will be fine. So we still can't see Jürgen coming from behind. So the question now is, we'll do about 25 laps, so the question is if the cars coming from behind will be able to catch up. There you can just see the Mustang coming into the corner. Let's see if we can see the Mustang here. He's probably about 12-15 seconds behind. Yeah, there is Jürgen. Seven laps to go, and he's probably about 4 or 5 seconds faster per lap, so he should be able to catch up. There is Kenneth Jones in fourth, about 10 seconds behind, 10-15 seconds behind. Right behind them there is Richard Brightwell just being overtaken by Alain. Richard not giving it up freely, fighting back to the best of his ability. Alain now up in 6th position. So now the question is, how will he be able to catch the guys in the MX-5s, Tony and Dwayne? And also in front of him he has Kenneth Jones, with whom he had the fight all up until the stop and go. Will he be able to catch him? Kenneth here did a lap time of 1:47. Alain did a 1:46.3, so he is catching. Richard did a 1:49, so the Jetta is slower, there's no doubt about that. Jelena down to 7th. Fahim doing 1:46, so he will overtake Jelena this straight here. Yes, he does. Klaus Petersen 15th, Tori Tesla 9th position, Amadeo in 10th. There's Rick, who was before in the lead before the pit stop, now in 11th. Chuck in 16th, Calvin in 12th position in the skip arbor. Jürgen Petersen now have the MX-5s in sight, about 5-6 seconds up ahead. There you see them, you see the distance, and we will have Kenneth Jones coming up right behind him. Should be coming out on the straight about now. There he is. Followed by Alain, right behind him. So this will be interesting to see if Alain can catch up Kenneth. So we're on lap 20, and here's Tony McCullum followed by Dwayne, and they're going into the hairpin on the far end of the track. Up the hill, and Tony glides out a little bit, gets into the gravel, goes very sideways, and moves out of the way, not to mess the things up for Jürgen coming from behind in the Mustang. So Jürgen now overtakes Tony and is up to 2nd place. Tony's down to 3rd, and it's not far left for him to catch Dwayne. You can see behind there also is the next Mustang coming. Kenneth, followed by Alain, who is closing up. So let's get into the car with Jürgen and see what it looks like from the passenger seat. 3 corners away from the start and finish line, and about 4 laps left to go. As you can see in the corners, the Mustang is not faster than the MX-5. It's a big and heavy car. But as soon as there is a little bit of a straight, of course the V8 serves its purpose. So a good exit, and just keep it down. We move over to Dwayne's car. Jürgen is up to 1st, Dwayne is down to 2nd. you can see that the MX-5 keeps up with the Mustang as soon as it starts to get into the bends. But on the straight, of course, it's a completely different thing. Here's from Tony McCollum's car. This is Kenneth Jones. You see Tony up ahead, and he's followed now by Alain. And Alain is right up on the bumper. That this is where the fight will be. Alain has closed the distance to about a quarter of what it was after the stop and go. And right behind Alain is Fahim. Well, not right behind, it's quite far behind, but Fahim can put in some good lap times when he have to. So it will be interesting to see if he can close the gap. Okay, let's move up ahead in the race. We are on lap 22, and here's Tony McCallum in third position, but right behind him we have Kenneth Jones and Alain, and since the Mustang is so much faster on the straight, he will probably Tony will be overtaken, and that is right here. He moves out of the way, which of course maybe could have held them behind him for a couple of more corners, maybe up until the straight, but better play it safe. They are also in a fight, and Tony, gentleman as he is, don't want to interfere in the fight for a third, fourth position. So Tony's down to fifth position now, and right behind Tony is Fahim in the Skippy, and Fahim overtakes there. Behind Tony is Richard Brightwell. He's not that much faster. He did a last lap time in 1:49.1. Tony did in 1:51. So the question is if it's 2 laps to go. I don't think that that Richard will be able to overtake Tony. But we'll keep an eye on it, of course. So here we have the fight for third. Alain right behind Kenneth. Let's move into Alain's car and have a look. Going through the corner combinations on the infield, as I said before, Skip Barber catches up, and out on the straights, just try to keep stay in the draft behind. And Alain, of course, is all over, trying to show. There you can see the brake discs glowing on the Mustang. Looks nice. So there Alain passed, so let's get in to Kenneth's car, and now as we get out on the straight, Kenneth will try to use the higher top speed to get past. Up ahead there you see also Dwayne Stoddard, who's in second position. Kenneth shows his front bumper on the inside, and goes wide to avoid the big heavy Mustang. On the backside here we have a very long straight, and I'm pretty sure that Kenneth will be able to overtake on that straight. And showing on the inside again. So now there is a chance that there will be 3 wide going into the next hairpin. So it would not surprise me if they catch Dwayne here on the straight. Here comes the Mustang. There is Dwayne. Oh, didn't catch up with Dwayne. Let's move back into Alain's car. Well, that's actually Fahim who has caught up with them. Oh, now they have 3, 4 here, 2 wide through that left-hander. And the Mustang is on the right side. Oh, there he comes. So Kenneth is down to 5th. this is the white flag, so it's one more lap to go. Passes on the outside. See if he can stay ahead. Oh, he couldn't. But he will pass on the straight again, of course. There he goes. Dwayne is down to 5th. And behind him, Klaus here is in 14th. And Richard here is in 6th, but he's far behind. Not a threat to Dwayne. And Dwayne has stopped. What has happened? Okay, this is what happens. Going down the gears, braking for the hairpin, and he over revs and blows the engine. So he is gone. And he was just passed by let's see, there he is. From behind here comes that's Klaus, he's in 14th. There is Richard Brightwell. And here comes Dwayne's old nemesis, Tony McCullum, in 7th place. And he saw his predicament. He goes up and goes and pushes him, try to push him over the start-finish line, and Tony doesn't really care about his own finishing position, just wanted to help out. That's very, again, Tony, you're a real gentleman. And Jelena passes, of course. That's really, really nice to see. Good racing. Let's move ahead. One corner to go, and we have the finish line. It's Jürgen Petersen in first position. There is quite a bit distance down to the rest of the cars. There's an MX-5, but that's Adam Allen. He's down to 13th. And then Tessier in 2nd position, followed by Fahim, and after Fahim is Kenneth Jones. Palfin 16th. There we skipped one, that's Klaus in 14th. Richard Brightwell and finishes 5th. Well done, Richard. Dwayne Benziger in 15th. Jelena Medvedev is the fastest MX-5, finishes 8th. And that's also because Tony gave up his position to help Dwayne. But I don't know if they succeeded in pushing the car all over the finish line. Doesn't look like it, we'll see. Calvin finishes 10th. And there's Rick James in 11th, followed by Tori Tesla 9th. So they were just overtaking then by Rick. Yeah, Rick is 8th, Tori 9th, Amadeo 10th. Yeah, that was it. Let's go back and see if we can see how it went for Tony, if he could push Dwayne over the line. I'm gonna look at this with Tony and Dwayne again, and Tony starts pushing. And one thing that we didn't think of, and Tony neither, is that every time you hit another car you get an incident, and there is an incident limit of 18. So as he pushes here now and bumps again and again, he gets more and more incidents, and he gets Dwayne down this straight. And here he loses contact, and then he goes back and tries to bump him again, and as he does that, he gets 2 more incidents, and boom, is removed. That's a disqualification. being disqualified. That's too bad. So I think that Dwayne couldn't really do much, so he disconnected. He was stranded right there. Okay, once again, Tony, it's really a gentleman thing to do. So let's go and have a look at the results again. We had Jürgen Peterson won the race at 46 minutes 38 seconds. 15 seconds after him was Alain Tessier, and Fahim was only 1 second behind. Then we had Kenneth Jones in the Mustang. Richard Brightwell finished 5th. 6th was Jelena, Calvin Filarski in 7th, Rick James in 8th, and Tori Tesla in 9th, Amadeo De Brito in 10th. Then we had Dwayne Studdard finished 12th, and Tony McCullum right behind him Dwayne in 11th and Tony in 12th. Then we had Adam Allen, Klaus Peterson, Dwayne Bensinger, Chuck Palfi, Derek Jones, Fredrik Johansson, Karsten Rudolph didn't make it to the race. Tori Tesla 2 is actually only in here to be able to live stream, so he's not participating. Dustin had to leave before the race started, unfortunately. So thank you very much everyone for watching, and this race we will have this series 3 times a month. It's Saturdays and it's in the evenings, so if you want to know more about it, go into the forums and you will find it under #1 AAA MiniMixed Champion in hosted races. You will find it in the forums. Thanks for watching and welcome back.